This video is about how you survive the aftermath of natural catastrophe. I'm German. If my English is not good enough for you, you don't have to watch this video, but I think you will still understand it. So we were hit by a typhoon. While the typhoon was out in the night, power went down, and that was not so bad because it was night, so I slept, and the next morning, it's early morning here in the Philippines, just 5 o'clock the sun rises, 6 o'clock is already bright, but the same in 5 o'clock it gets dark, and in 6 is night, 6 p.m. So the first thing you will really notice to need is light. And then you are happy to have a battery powered light, that will light up your life. If you think, that's not so bad, just close the windows in your home, shut down the lights, and then try to go to CR and take a shower, or just go to the CR and do your business there, and then you will finally notice it's not good without a light. So this is the first thing you should consider to have on hand. This one runs with rechargeable batteries. That's nice at the moment, but the recharger runs on the normal power line. So if these are empty, I cannot recharge them. That's why it's most important that this thing has a USB port and I can run it on my power bank. So having a LED light that runs with USB power is nice. And I can just tell you, better you have 2 or 3 of them at hand, because you always will need one when it's night. And if you forget to recharge, then you will be happy that there's one charged still. The next thing you really need in the Philippines or everywhere in the world where it's a little hotter than normal, a mobile fan that is also running on battery power. This one has different switches, and this one also has a light. So this is really nice. I bought this for about 800 peso here in the local cheap store. And this one really helps me through the night, because upstairs I cannot sleep. The walls are still 32 degrees hot even in 11 p.m. because the sun directly is on them, and I cannot sleep upstairs even with the fan. So I moved downstairs. There's the mattress. Here is 3 to 4 degrees less hot, and it's with the fan it's really okay in the night. This one lasts about 6 hours in the regular mode. So how to get this through the night? You need a power bank like this. Wait. This is my power bank, 20,000 milliamp hours raw power. I bought this in America, and this one powers my fan and runs it through the night for 8 to 10 hours without getting too much empty. So at least the 20,000 milliamp power bank you should have to charge everything and have it run through the night. So I would say, besides LED lights, you need a LED fan, and make sure they run with a 5 volt on a power bank. And the best is to have 2 or better 3 power banks at hand, and different ones also, so that you can power different things. I bought this so-called jump starter battery some years ago, and this is nice because it has a light, and it can output 5 volt for the regular USB. Then it has a 9 volt output and a 12 volt output. Unfortunately, this is charged via the normal power net, and so I cannot charge it now. I can charge it via Roy's power bank. He has a 40,000 milliamp power bank that also has a 220 volt out, and then I can charge this. So if you buy such a jump starter, make sure that you can charge it, maybe fast charge with a regular power bank or a solar panel if you buy it, because those things have a 12 volt output, and you need this for, here is my router. Yeah, this is the broadband router from Globe, which runs on fiber and not on copper. And what we noticed after the typhoon hit, that my neighbor Roy, his fiber connection from PLDT was still running. Yeah, it was not damaged, and when he switched on his router via 12 volt, he had 35 Mbit internet. Wow, would work for me too if the clearing operations hadn't cut off now the fiber wire. But if you are lucky, you have a so-called cell phone router where you can plug in a SIM card, and then you have a mobile LTE router, and they usually run with 12 volt too. But that way, with such a jump starter battery, you can run them for about 8 hours off net. Yeah, and that's really better because they are much stronger receiving and sending data than a pocket Wi-Fi or your cell phone. And that way I can just recommend try to get those that also give out 12 volt, or at least buy a adapter, a converter cable that makes the 5 volt to 12 volt. Those cables are no more than maybe $5, but you really be happy if your router suddenly can work again, because if it's fiber, it does not need power to send the signals forth and back, and if the line stands, you have internet. The next thing you will notice, now I have 2 or 3 power banks that can charge and power my things, but what if they get empty? And being a foreigner in a foreign land, then we are usually the ones to have a car. Yeah, and now I show you that with a car you have a generator on hand, and I can now show you going to my car. Morning sir, morning mom, I'm just recording a video for my YouTube channel. So you hear my car is running because this is a generator, it generates power. And if you have a look inside, you see all the gadgets, because I bought these adapters for the lightning, for the cigarette lighters, and this one has 4 outlets, even with a fast charge here. Then I have a second one, this has 3 outlets, because I have 1 cigarette lighter here, there and in the back. So this car now powers 11 gadgets during the day. It's a diesel, so it's not really using much gasoline. I think we have it running now from Saturday to now Thursday, so it's 5 days, and we are still going to town and back, driving around a little bit. And just today I added 20-liter diesel to the car, so with 5 days driving to town and back, that's maybe 150 kilometer, and having this run maybe 10 hours a day as a generator, it just used 20 liters diesel, which is 1,000 peso or $20. So this is a cheap generator. And if you're interested, you find online kits to connect the light machine from the motor to a much stronger outlet, and then you can even, with the strong motor, you can even run your aircon. That it will use more gasoline, but it would work. But I don't really need the aircon at night because I have a fan. Yeah, that said, I would say this is my tips how to survive. And one thing I forgot, because as I told you, after 3 days we were all out of the tap water, and luckily we are here in a subdivision where the owner has installed a groundwater pump. It's manual, but it gets the water from about 30 meters deep. This water is of course not clean. Yeah, it's clear, it's not muddy, but this water you can use for the CR, for flushing, and you can use for cleaning your clothes. And I use it also to shower the first round. That means I wet my body with this water, then I soap myself, and then I clean it with the drinking water, which is like this, gallons, and that way you can survive. Luckily, the drinking water stations run on generators here so that we can use it. But in case there is no other water, you can boil and disinfect that water. So make sure you have a water supply at hand if you move somewhere. I had foreigners complaining that they live in 20th floor of a condo. They have no power, no water, and the elevator is not running. That's why I say live in a small subdivisions with locals and you are out of danger. Yeah, if you go to the condos and say, I don't like the locals, blah, 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 it's much better here in a condo. Yeah, maybe. But if you have a natural disaster happening, then you will easily fast notice that it's better living with the locals. That said, end the video for now. I hope my tips are interesting and you subscribe my channel. I will upload updates about how to survive the aftermath of this typhoon in the coming days. Bye bye.